Joy Perry. I grew up in Greater Abyssinia. My mother, my family was here, so that's what brought me to Greater Abyssinia. But I left Greater Abyssinia when I was in my teens, in my teenage years, and I was gone for approximately about 40 years. I was at home one day, and all of a sudden, I was having a pretty good time. I was watching my evangelist shows and getting ready. But I visit several churches. And oddly enough, I never joined another church, which I visit a lot of them. And then one day I was at home, and it says, "Go back. You need to go back and rejoin Greater Abyssinia." It's like that. And I was obedient. I got dressed. Well, it really said to me, "You need to go back and join Greater Abyssinia. You will have to do a funeral there." And shortly thereafter, my mother passed away. I'm part of the Progressive League. I guess I create my own little ministries around here. I get in where I fit in and where things need to be done. Oh gosh, yes. Yes, that is my mission, to follow Christ more than anything. Not being a member of a church, but following a follower of Jesus Christ, yes. To model Jesus, let Jesus live through me, and I be his vessel. Couldn't do it on my own. I do. I remember that it was in the 90s. I had just not so long ago purchased a house, and I was in my house, and my house seemed big and lonely, and I was like, I was looking around. I felt like, oh, you've accomplished a great deal. I was pretty successful at my job, and there was still an emptiness. And then I remember I just looked, and there was a Bible, and I just picked it up and started reading it. And I started with the New Testament, and as I read, I started crying. And right there in my kitchen, I got on the floor, sat right down on the floor, and gave my life to Jesus. And I have never turned and made the confession of faith there. I remember it was March 17, 1990. The people. It's an institution, if I would say that has stood. And I had choices. I was actually solicited to go 10 churches in Chagrin Fall. But our churches need people to come and work. And not only that, what makes it special, when my mom passed, they stood by me in a way I'd never thought was possible. And that makes it special. I've been to larger churches where they don't even know your name. Greater Abyssinia, they mean what they say. They stood by me through this last year particularly. I've lost more than 4 or 5 relatives, and they were right there. It's refreshing to know that someone cares and to check on you. I think people imagine church to what they want it to be. I think people want church to be a place of entertainment for them. I think people want a church where they feel valued, used. So sometimes it's convenient. And let me say this, I like what the pandemic did. I like the live streaming. I like the option, because the elderly who could not get out have an option. It's places that you could not go before. However, I think people wanted fun. So many people are looking for church to be relative. You know, how they can get this entertainment here, what can they do there? And you ask them, what was the message about? We certainly had a good time in church, but what was the message? They don't learn the message. All they know is the thrill that they had when they were there. They look for entertainment now, more so than anything. You're not alone. That if you trust in God, if you take the Bible and you look for the verses that apply to you, and you look whatever situation you're in right now, and you use the Bible as your guide, you may suffer for 24 hours at first, but if you stay in the Bible and continue to read 18 hours the next day, 16 hours, until one day you will be relieved of all those griefs, because it's like the Bible is the medicine that you need. It's better than chemotherapy. It's better than anything you can have. to be cured of whatever situation you have. So I say if you don't do anything, pick up the book and read it. And start reading it as a story, and it will come alive for you.